And he's also hired a civil engineer independent of the design team and is coordinating civil. And today we found there's a 1 foot bust at the entry door. Handicap parking spots are by another door. Fortunately, so they'll use that.
Okay,
Oh, she's worried about that.
sound test.
She's from South Korea. Doctor.
Yeah.
Sarah, can you hear us?
I can.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Hopefully we get done.
Everybody set? Yolanda? Okay. Okay. We'll go ahead and begin our work session. During the work session, board members will discuss the project among ourselves, and then at 5:30, we'll start the actual hearing and we'll discuss projects with applicants at that time. So we'll get started with the first item on our agenda, which is 20 Orchard Avenue.
I had no comments whatsoever.
Yeah, I none. I did a great improvement since, talking through different issues. So good.
I had no comments either, but since that one is a public hearing, we'll can't pre-approve it. Let's see, it looks like we have Jackson is a pre-approval. So the next item to discuss would be 410 East Swan.
one comment I had was wondered if they would consider a hipped roof style for the porch to match the hip style of the rest of the house.
That's a good suggestion, seeing that the dormer is also on the front elevation. But I was thinking, we don't really have a full elevation that shows context of this. And I mean, we hope that they won't get into the window at the second floor. I'm not sure if the footprint of the deck is staying the same. I kind of was looking at these drawings and was left with a lot of questions and answers.
Ken, did you have any comments on that?
No, I was okay with, I didn't make any comments, just trying to find the pictures, follow
Yeah.
along with your comments, and I just now got it.
I have a similar comment to Tracy's. I would like to be able to see the new proposed porch in the context of the elevation. Because the overhang on the concept photo is nice and generous, but on the drawing, this overhang looks really rather shallow and appears kind of tight on that existing bay. And the roof slope also looks low, but without having it in context of the existing front elevation, you can't really tell how much room there is to raise a slope or to expand those, those overhangs. So I would, I would really like to see it in the context of the front elevation. And also the vinyl siding on the front of the gable really doesn't coordinate well with the existing siding, which when you drive by there, it's kind of a wider style with wider style old siding with the wavy bottom. And that vinyl siding just to me doesn't really coordinate. I think David's suggestion of making it hip would be excellent. It would coordinate better with the existing building, and then we would do away with that vinyl siding. So I think that,
Yes.
we can discuss this one with the applicant. Were there any other comments on that one?
I'm assuming the photographs are what they're proposing or.
That's like a representation.
Illustration.
Yeah.
I don't- Hey, I thought it's for
It's already built.
Hey everyone, this is Kyle. I'm on remote this week.
Hey, Kyle.
Good to see
Okay.
everybody.
Okay, let's see, Kyle, just to catch you up a little bit, did you have any comments on 20 North Orchard or 20
No.
Orchard? Okay. And then Jackson is a pre-approval, and now we're on 410 East Swan. Did you have
Okay.
comments on that?
I did not have comments on that.
Okay.
Or did I?
Okay, next item is 542 Elizabeth.
I had commented or asked a question of Mara, which she clarified. I'd wondered if they were gonna consider getting a variance on their setback, just because that odd
It is.
chamfered corner, but they've gone through it a couple times already and they decided just to leave it as it is. And
Yeah.
I didn't have any comment.
No, no
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah, I had a question about the reason for the cantilever over the existing,
Setback.
well, we've got, if you look at the front elevation, the existing garage wall is there, and then we've cantilevered the addition over the side. And that just looks a little awkward to me. And then when I look at the plan, it looks like we have, some pretty generous space in the master bedroom and then also in the walk-in closet. And I just wanted to have a discussion and get a little insight into the reason for that cantilever over the existing side first floor wall.
I have a theory, we're trying to maximize the space.
Yeah, I mean, well, but look at the dimension, that bedroom is 21 feet, 8 inches.
Yeah.
And the new walk-in closet is 10 feet across. So, yeah, just interested in knowing,
That's fine.
knowing a bit more about that. And then on the other elevation, I was wondering if there is on the other side elevation, if there's a possibility of maybe making those windows a little bit longer so we don't have quite so much siding. Oh, yeah, on that. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the one, it's a little confusing because the north arrow on the site plan, the floor plans, and then the labels on the elevations don't jive right. So it's a little hard to know what we're discussing here. But what I'm talking about on the side elevations would be those master bedroom windows that are on each side of the bed. If those could be a little bit longer, I think that would help balance out that elevation and relieve the siding a little bit. Yeah, those were my comments.
Yeah, maybe those windows on that flank the bedroom or the bed would be double hungs to match the other ones, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Kyle, did you say if you had anything on that one?
I don't. Actually, to save you some time while we're on here, I sent my email to Mara. I had no comments on almost all of these except for the last one. So I'm just
Okay,
kind of gonna hang
okay.
out and see what everybody has to say.
That sounds fine. And if you think of anything, just chime on in.
Will do. Thank you.
All righty, and let's see, we've got Chestnut is a pre-approval. Next one up is 427 Clark Avenue.
I guess my only, it's not even, it was just more of a clarification. There's a side shed roof proposed over the porch and steps. And it looks like it's just like just slope framing, no ceiling, no side walls on that little shed roof. And I was just wondering if that was correct, because it seems pretty minimal.
You're talking about the connection between the column.
Yeah, and if will there be a sidewall, or is that just kind of like roof
Yeah.
framing that's exposed and just, it's really simple, or?
I could detail that a little more, I agree.
Yeah.
I can see they're just continuing the roof rafters out.
Mhm.
I don't think they need to get fancy, flush out a ceiling, do everything.
Yeah.
else, but Just address the connection between the column.
Yeah.
And I think the drawing speaking.
Mhm.
I had the same comment. Looks like I wondered, oh, did they get a chance to finish this out?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it needs a bit more attention. And I think it would be also nicer if they would maybe have some sort of, either close off those ends or have some deeper fascia, because when you look at the rest of the roof lines, they all just look a lot more substantial. This, I think it just needs a little more attention.
Mhm.
And also a suggestion that because that side porch is pretty visible, if they would go ahead and close it off similar to the existing front porch below the deck and the grade. Anything else on that one?
I had no comment.
Okay. Okay, next one is 9435 Big Bend.
No comments?
I was no comment. They're, I guess being inspired by certain roof lines on the house and trying to replicate that on the garage, so it's following a pattern.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have this okay as submitted with a suggestion that they might want to consider adding a window to the right side, but not a requirement, just a suggestion.
Yeah, my only comment was, what was that, I can't find my drawings, but, what's the purpose of the trim board on the elevation C? There's like a rectangular box of some sort.
Oh, I was expecting maybe there's gonna be like a pergola or something in between the two structures. And that
Oh,
would be where
okay.
they attach. I don't know.
That might make sense.
That's where my brain went, but I don't know why that's there.
And would that be allowed over the right of way?
I don't know.
Maybe
not.
I mean, it's not drawn yet, so we can't like comment on it.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Good question. We should ask. I'm curious now.
It just seems odd. You know,
Yeah.
it's a clever use of that, it's a clever use of the right of way, I think. A little courtyard between.
Mhm.
And looks like next project is 415 Alma.
I was okay with it.
I had a question. The columns on the backside of the barn structure. I was curious if those are just gonna stay simple, straight columns with no base and capital detail. And then it looks like there's a little shed roof over the door, and that shed roof is right on the edge. It aligns with the edge of the building. I thought it might be good to kind of nudge that over a little bit to give some relief at the corner.
I thought those columns on that back covered porch, they look a little bit thin for their height, and I was wondering if they were going to trim those out or would maybe consider using a heavier column. That's just a suggestion. It's not a requirement, but I think it just would look a little more substantial. And then, the question about the cap and base trim as well. David or Ken, did you have anything on that one?
Yeah, my only comment was, I don't see, the existing windows have the false shutters on the sides, and wonder if they would just consider putting those on the new windows as well.
Ken, did you have any comment on
good.
that one? Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay, the last item is a preliminary, and it's a new house on 21 North Iola.
So my only comment on this one was to, would they ever consider putting in a belt line piece of trim to break up all that siding? But that's all I had.
Talking about a band board or trim board at the second floor line or something.
Exactly. Something just breaks up this big wall of siding.
Had a suggestion?
Yes.
Okay. I like it as a suggestion.
I had a comment about possibly adding a window on the left side of the garage, just because it looks like that's gonna be pretty visible to the neighbor back there.
I have a comment on the right elevation. I mean, it looks like they've done a pretty good job of trying to spread out the windows that they have, but there's still an awful lot of siding. So I was going to discuss maybe making those master bedroom windows a little bit deeper, taller, and then maybe the option to add a window in the pantry on the first floor, just to have something else going on that big blank wall of siding.
I could see making the windows taller, but I actually, when I looked at this, I said, well, this house is gonna pass our window test. Well,
Yeah, even if, they don't, those windows, the master bedroom, they don't have to be huge, just maybe twice as tall as they are now. I think that would help a lot.
no, I don't have a problem with if they're in agreement with you, I think that's fine. I'm not a big fan of running siding over foundations. We're talking about all the vinyl on the sides, elevations, they could reduce that and do a rub foundation in my mind, but I'm not even gonna mention it. I just did, but yeah, I'm just talking.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if this was the actual, it looks like this is just kind of a generic drawing. Like, I don't know if this is true grade.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, they just filled in the address on the title block.
Ecologically speaking, to put a material or something that doesn't need to be there is
Yeah, I don't disagree with the, that.
but it's their call.
Okay, anything else on that one?
Nope.
Okay, neither. Okay, very good. It looks like we've concluded the work session, so we'll take a break here and then be back for the hearing at 5:30. Let me know when you're ready.
painting or something.
Okay.
Like you could have written a little higher.
All right, y'all will come to order. It's 5:30.
Ah,
Welcome to the May 18 ARB meeting. Start with introductions from the city. We have Yolanda Wilkins and Andrew Klosterman. Online, we have our ARB City Council Liaison, Sarah Richardson. Board members are Kyle Wilson, who's joined us online, Ken Burns, David Yates, Tracy Collins, and I'm Carol Danke. I'm filling in for our chairman, Bob Buckman, who is away. Just if you're here with us in person, please put your cell phones on silent. And if you have to take a call, please do step out. We will first off start with approval of our meeting minutes from our last meeting. Were there any comments on the meeting minutes?
Nope.
I'm good.
I'm good too. So may I have a motion, please, to approve the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the May 4th meeting minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved. Okay, and we do have a couple of pre-approvals here this evening. And just a note on the pre-approval process, board members review the projects in advance of the meeting, and we submit written comments to the city, and we do not confer with each other during those reviews. So if there's any projects on which none of the board members have questions or comments, those projects are considered to be approved, pre-approved. So our first pre-approval tonight is 626 East Jackson Road. May I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve 626 East Jackson Road as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Kyle? Kyle, you're muted.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, very good. Our next pre-approval is 316 Chestnut. And it does have a understanding note. May I have a motion that includes the understanding on that one?
Make a motion to approve 316 Chestnut with the clarification that the siding on the addition will match the existing siding.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, very good. That one is approved. Next regular agenda item is a public hearing. It's 20 Orchard Avenue. Do we have any comments on 20 Orchard Avenue? And you are, sir?
I am Alex Blaze with Blaze Architects. I was the lead on the project.
Okay, thank you. I think during our work session, did you hear that, Alex? Our work session?
I was not here for it. no.
Okay, I think everybody was good. I don't think we had any comments. So, but because it is a public hearing, we do need to go ahead and go through the process. If there's anyone here in person or online, please raise your hand if you have a comment on 20 Orchard Avenue. Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and call for a vote.
I make a motion to approve 20 Orchard Avenue as submitted.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. You're approved.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much.
Okay, our next project is 410 East Swan.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Bob Fleming, the homeowner.
Okay, very good. Welcome.
Thanks.
Bob, were you here for our work session? Did you hear the comments or?
I think we came in maybe after your comments.
Okay, that's fine. Let's see, we'll go ahead and start with comments from the board on 410 Swan.
Yeah, I guess I just had a a comment about the drawings that were submitted. They just focus on the porch itself and don't give context to the rest of the front elevation. And it would be good for us to kind of see how that fits within, especially the second floor window, to make sure that we're under that.
It's definitely under it, yeah, which is why we can't go steeper on the roof line because it would interfere with that window. I mean, I have a mock-up here of what it would look like.
Okay. Yeah, it
You
looks
can
like
see
that photo.
Basically, there's a small existing roof, if that's what you call it.
Mhm. Yeah.
But removing that and using that space to put the new roof in. So it's not going up, down, it's using that existing space to build out
Mhm.
because of the tiles, the siding is brittle, can break easy. So we're trying not to do anything with the siding.
Yeah.
And my comment was that wondered if you would consider doing a hip style porch roof versus a gable end, just to match.
Well, today we didn't even know what that meant.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so yes, I certainly would consider it. What
Yeah.
would that entail? Like an amendment to
Well,
this?
well, I
Or
mean,
a-
yeah, I mean, what it is like it basically match your dormer on your.
No, I know what it is now. What would it take to,
Quick study.
would we have to resubmit all the plans or like an amendment to the plans?
We
showing
could-
the-
If I think that if we're all agreed as we discuss this, we might be able to just add it to a motion.
Okay,
So we'll just continue with the comments and kind of see where we are.
yeah.
So,
We thought our gables on our attic or on our roof were gables. They are hip. The hip style as well.
Right. right,
So
right.
our original thought was they would match that.
Okay.
But now we know they don't. So yes, we will consider it.
If you do the hip and you've got problems with the height of it, regarding the window above it, the front hip can match the slope of the house and the other two hips can be lower to accommodate that and it'll visually. come
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. Yep.
It was a big one, wasn't it?
other questions or comments on that one?
I was looking at the drawings and the elevation, it looks like I wasn't sure if there's a post up against the house.
There is.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
And that is one of those from our contractor, one of those things that it's kind of a to be determined depending on how the tear out goes. And if I don't know the terminology, but the answer is yes, there is a post in there. But he seemed to think that it's possible to do it a different way, but likely not without disturbing the siding.
Mhm.
Is the skirting to the porch just a wood back? Just horizontal wood?
It's horizontal, yeah. That's Ann, my wife.
Have a question too about, on your concept photo, the overhang on the new porch appears quite generous. It's very deep. But then when I look at the drawing, it appears that it's much, much narrower. And I'm wondering what's actually planned there.
The plan is for the overhang to basically be in line with the footprint of the porch. Right, yeah. Which will be another question you had is if it's the same footprint, and the answer to that is yes. So the overhang is intended to match, to not hang out over.
Okay, well, I'm looking at this drawing and it looks like the overhang does project over the edge of the porch.
Which one are you?
Yeah.
I see.
See, this overhang right here extends beyond the edge of the porch here.
Okay. You'd want it to go more?
Well, that's why I was wondering, I had a comment similar to Tracy's, that it would be helpful to see the drawing of the porch on the context of the whole front elevation. So we can see, how much room there is to maybe make those overhang deeper and still coordinate with the existing front elevation. Because you can see here, on your concept photo, this is quite a generous overhang
Yeah.
that extends over the edge of the porch quite a bit. But then, it's much narrower on your actual drawing.
Mhm.
So I was wondering
We-
what you
we have
plan to
the-
build.
We have the edge of the house and a window on each side to contend with.
Yeah, that's why it would be really helpful to have, a drawing that shows the scale, proper scale of the whole house, because you have quite a bit of space between these windows here, the adjacent windows and the edge of your porch. Over toward the edge of the house, the corner, not so much. So that's why it's always helpful to see these things in context of the existing elevation, so we know exactly how deep that overhang can be.
I think if you go to the hip roof, that's gonna mitigate a lot of your concerns there right out of the gate. And you do have, within the body of the house itself, the first floor sunroom, I guess, whatever, where it has, I guess, a more compact overhang than the main body of the house does. I mean, if you're saying you want them to redo the plans and bring them back, then
I didn't say that. I'm just trying to talk through it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, and I do agree that the hip would look much better and it would help address some of the issues. Were you planning to have any trim at all, like cap and base trim on your columns?
There will be some, I asked him that, there'll be some, what he said, low profile trim that will, nothing fancy, but it'll be some low profile trim that will cover any cut marks, anything like that, so.
Okay, so at the bottom, at the base and at the top, at the capital, okay, okay,
He just didn't include it in the drawing.
okay. Okay, any other comments?
the question is, I would be comfortable approving this with the conditions we're describing, but.
So would I, so, but
not-
everybody else needs to be
Oh, no.
too, I mean.
Yeah, I'd
Tracy?
probably just sit out on the vote myself.
No, say what you
Yeah,
feel
I
like
think
you need to
that's
say.
I mean, I think, I understand the concept, but I think it will work, but I just don't see a drawing that shows me that, so I just will just sit out of the vote for this one.
You mean with the roof? You're concerned about the roof?
Yeah, and the overhang, and does it gonna overlap the corner of the building, and
No. it
I
will
don't know,
not.
just,
You
I know-
have a Flat roof is porch, right?
What do you mean? I mean, it's gonna be the hip style roof.
No, I'm not talking about roof, I'm talking about ceiling, you understand?
Oh, roof.
We're-
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's gonna be
Yeah,
flat.
I think. that
Underneath, yeah, the
Yeah.
roof,
Underneath,
yes.
It's
It's not gonna be like a, yeah.
It's all gonna be an overhang. But
Mhm.
I think the hip roof thing is really turning the corner on the whole thing.
yeah, no, I think it's good.
I don't think you can do an overhang as large as the dorm on top. I think that's overwhelming. So who wants to make a motion?
Let me just kind of review the understandings here to make sure that we're all on the same page. And that everybody is good with it before we do the motion. Okay, so we're talking about changing to a hip roof. And we're going to have a cap and base trim on the columns. Would everybody be comfortable with a motion that addresses the overhang, like saying that the overhang would not exceed the corner of the house? Would not go past it, won't go past the corner of the house?
We have better design sense
Oh,
than to go
that's-
past the
Yeah,
corner of the house.
You know what? I'm glad to hear that, but that doesn't always happen. So we're very
Yeah.
glad to hear that. I
I-
just want to
I
make sure to
We're-
clarify.
We're better than that.
I would suggest the overhang, replicate the overhang on the first floor. And maybe even replicate the roof of that, the slope of that too, which is pronounced lower than the main house.
You said replicate the house part, so the upper,
One-story portion here.
Your sunroom.
if you replicated that overhang and you replicated that roof slope, that's probably gonna solve your window issue too,
Yeah.
or your,
Yeah.
the window above issue, so.
Yeah, you know,
might
I
be-
don't know, you know, if we're going to get into that, I would be feeling similar to Tracy that I would want to see that drawn if it's going to be a slope that low. So I would rather see see a little steeper pitch, obviously stay out of the roof above, but not quite go as low as this is reading here on that existing sun porch or whatever it is on the right side of the house.
Well, we gotta make up our minds. So.
Yeah, so I would say if we're going to say that, I would like to see it drawn. If we're going to say that it matches that existing low slope on the right-hand side.
How about if they're good with the cap and base trim, they're good with the hip roof, the front, well, the front slope of the hip would match that of the main house, and the side return slopes would be equal to or less than that, only with consideration of how close they can go to the windowsill above it.
That would be fine with me.
Okay.
Everybody else,
Alright.
is that okay? Kyle, do you have any comments on
Yes,
that?
thank you, Ken.
Okay. Okay, so are you okay with that?
Is someone gonna send me kind of a review of this?
It's on
It'll be in
YouTube.
Okay,
And,
but no like
then-
meeting
So
minutes?
typically how we work is I will reach out and basically say, your ARB has approved your project and I will include the clarifications in that, and then you would submit construction drawings to us. I haven't seen what was submitted, so I'm assuming there's construction details that haven't been included. So I will reach out typically the next day or probably early Monday. Basically saying, and I usually include those clarifications so that you know, and yes, as Carol said, it is available online,
Okay.
so you can review it.
Yeah.
So you're saying we do have to do all new drawings or
no,
as
sir,
long as
we're-
we agree to the stipulations?
We're working toward, as long as you agree to the stipulations,
Yes.
there would not be an additional submittal to the ARB, but when you submit construction drawings to the building department, those stipulations would need to be included in your construction
Okay.
documents.
Okay.
Okay.
And so,
Sorry.
No, go
So,
ahead.
yeah, typically I'll reach out and say that, hey, these are the clarifications, your drawings need to reflect those.
got it.
Okay.
The drawing, the final drawings
Final,
that's
correct.
submitted to, okay,
Correct.
so there's still more drawings to come.
Potentially, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if.
It's just a revision of the
Okay,
elevation. that's
okay.
all.
Because everything you just, like all the slopes and all that, I don't speak that, so that's why. I
We'll put it
wanna
in
be
the
able to
motion,
see
and then he'll have it. So,
Okay, got it.
All right.
Okay, so I think with that, we have an agreement and I'll call for a motion. And Ken, if you would like to,
I make a motion that we approve 410 East Swan Avenue with the conditions that the roof approach on the porch will be a hip design. There'll be cap and base trims added to the columns, and that the front slope of the hip will match that of the main body of the house, and that the return slopes would be equal to that slope, or if necessary, less, only in order to avoid the windowsill condition above.
Second,
all those in favor?
Aye.
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 I'll abstain from voting.
The project is approved.
Excellent. Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, me. I didn't vote yet. I want to see a drawing.
All right, our next up is 542 Elizabeth Drive.
Hello, everybody. Okay. So, as you've seen, we're doing a second story addition. We do have an overhang, and I know there were some questions about that, and I understand. So really, A, it was owner requested. They wanted a little bit larger master suite. And B, we were trying to match up the roof lines as well as keep the existing pitch of the main roof. And if we made that addition match the first floor footprint, it would, the new ridge line would be shorter than the existing one.
So
So-
you just wanted to keep that consistent all the way through?
Yeah.
So the overhang gives your client more space, but it allows the roofs to meet. Is that, you know? I
That
can buy that. But I'm looking at it from the perspective of a casual eye driving by the house. And
Sure.
I don't even know if I was driving down that street, just taking the thing in, I would have noticed it either.
Oh,
So, but I'm only one vote, so I'm good to go.
and then for the windows in the master bedroom, one of you mentioned double hung. That was one of my questions. Making them larger, I agree. And casements or double hungs, do you have a preference?
It looks like most of the rest of the house, well, we've got some double hungs, but it looks like we've got
Casements or sliders on the front.
casements or sliders on most of the house.
Mhm.
So, I would be okay with either since, the other end of the house has the double hungs, but, casements would be fine with me. If
Yeah,
anybody
I
else
mean,
have
that'd
any?
Probably help you with your
Yeah,
egress too.
Yeah,
Great.
okay. Okay, anyone else have any questions or comments?
None from me.
Like the
Okay.
extension with the roof thing, that kind of, I didn't catch that.
All righty, I think that someone's got a hand up. Is that?
So in terms of the windows, how big are you wanting those to be then roughly? Our goal is to try to have as much wall space in the room as possible so that, we can be able to put furniture in different areas. So just so that we're aware of what size windows are you thinking? That's why we had them be kind of higher up so that we could still put things like a nightstand, for instance, underneath them. If that
Yeah,
makes
if you look at the drawing of your floor plan, it looks like that your nightstands are really don't interfere too much with those windows. Do you have the floor plan drawing in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. You see what I'm talking about?
Yours.
Is it muted? What if we get a bigger bed though?
Yeah, do you know what size you drew on there, Hannah? Is that a king
Windows?
or the
That is a
bed?
king size,
Yeah,
yes.
that's a king size bed that's illustrated there.
I think one of the concerns here is to try and make the windows look more vertical and rectangular as opposed
Yeah.
to square. If you had a sill height on those windows that was 3 feet above the floor, your nightstand table will handily come in underneath that. You can go 3.5 feet, but that's probably overkill. So we're probably looking at a window that's going to be 18 inches to 24 inches longer.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, that's actually kind of what I sketched on my drawing here. Yeah. Does that, I'm assuming you're the homeowner online?
Yes,
Is
we
that
are.
correct? Okay, would you be comfortable with that if they were like 18 to 24 inches longer?
Or stipulate that there be a certain distance off the floor, be an easy way to control it.
Sorry, I'm trying to. We're at our son's baseball game that's getting ready to start. So sorry, we're in our car right now. It's a
That's okay.
I'm scrolling
Multitasking.
on my phone as we're on the computer at the same time. Give us a second.
Just a point of reference, a typical double hung window is usually 3 feet wide, 5 feet tall. And we're probably talking a window that's going to be 4 feet vertical or
Yeah.
at 3.5 to 4 feet vertical.
Right, because right now these windows sit at 30 inches tall, so.
Yeah.
Really add another.
7 foot head height.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that what Ken suggested sounds fine. And we can even put the range in there, quote the range as 3.5 to 4 feet high. So that way you can confer with your homeowners and, figure out what works for you all.
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay.
Everybody okay with that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, yes, I heard. Thank you. So with that, I think the only item we need to address specifically is the window style and size of the master bedroom side elevation. So could I have a motion, please?
You go for it.
I'll do it. I make a motion to accept the Cole residence on 542 Elizabeth Drive as submitted with the additional ask that they change the window style in the master bedroom to match the other styles in the house, be it casement or double hung. And yeah,
And the
a sill-
height?
And a sill would be.
oh, and the sill would be,
Well, it would be, the window height would be 3.5 to 4 feet tall.
okay, 3.5 to 4 feet tall window height.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thanks.
All right, very
Okay,
good. Thank
yeah,
you so
Hannah,
much.
you're good. Thank you. Enjoy the baseball game.
Thank
Thank
you.
Okay, next project we have is 9435 Big Bend.
Wait a minute. Is that right?
I think that's right. We got,
Skip one.
oh, did I miss one? Oh, I think I messed up. Sorry. Thank you, Tracy. Just getting a little overzealous. We'll back up one and we will go with 427 Clark Avenue.
Yep. Wait, no.
Nope. Anyone online for 427 Clark Avenue? Okay, well, I guess we don't have to back up too far, do we?
Yeah, never mind. Come back.
Okay, so we'll just see if maybe anybody shows up online later or comes in and we'll circle back to that one before we adjourn. So we will now move on to 9435 Big Bend.
Hi, I'm James McKenzie. I'm the homeowner.
Welcome. Did you happen to hear our comments during the work
Did not
session?
make it in time to get the
Okay.
comments.
Oh, no, that's fine. We just didn't want to repeat it if you'd already heard it.
Sure.
Okay, comments from the board members?
I don't think I think we were more curious about the trim board that's going to be installed above that barn door.
Sure.
Curious if that was for a future anchor point for something or.
I think potentially we were talking about, yeah, using that space. We're in this kind of weird easement situation. We basically have that
Looks like it,
drainage
yeah.
trail. So we're probably gonna put some sort of bridge over that and have that be a piece of patio or storage, open
Cool.
storage. So that would potentially be tying into cafe lights or something like that. So I think
Yeah.
that was the idea of the trim board, is giving us some flexibility to use that
Yeah.
space.
Yeah, I gotta say, I like that. I like you guys are using the right of way as interior advantage to make that nice little patio between the buildings. It's cool.
Thank you.
This isn't ARB's discussion, but I just want to let you know that when if you add that future building, you might be over the amount of allowable outbuildings on your property. So that,
Correct.
so that rear shed might need to go away.
The shed is crumbling as
Okay.
as it stands, and that was the plan if we get rid of, if we do build that hobby shop.
Yeah.
That would be for sure. Yep.
Okay, looks like we have somebody with their hand up online. Denise, is that for this project?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was for the Clark project. I was having trouble with my microphone.
I'm sorry, we didn't get what you heard
Thank
said. Denise, are you with the Big Bend project?
No, I'm with the Clark project.
Oh, okay, we'll circle back to you in a minute. Okay,
I'm just having trouble with my microphone. Make sure it's working.
okay, yeah, just hang tight and we'll get back to you.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, and now back to the Big Bend project.
Yeah, the position of the garage off the main house says 9 feet 4 inches.
Yes.
I think that needs to be 10 feet. to be
We have a
detached,
variance
right?
for that.
Pardon?
We have a variance for that already.
Oh, you do? Okay. good.
Yep.
Okay, then I'm.
Yeah, because of that easement, we were kind of
Okay.
just
I understand. Okay.
squeaking
I
it, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want
into
you
the
to
ringer.
walk out of here happy and approved and then they
Yep,
beat you
yep.
up on another issue
Yeah.
that we don't deal with, so. And that is true if you connect that future hobby shed to this thing.
Yep. So, yeah, we
It's-
got variances for the setbacks and we got
Yeah.
variance for the square footage of
Okay,
the total
well,
outbuildings for this.
And,
Yep.
and we understand what you're doing and. looks
Perfect.
good, So.
Any other comments on this one from the board?
No.
I only had one comment and it's a suggestion that if you wanted to add a window to the garage to the right side, but a lot of people prefer not to do that close to the property line. So that was just
Yeah.
a suggestion kind of comment. Okay. So it sounds like we're ready for a motion on this one.
I'd like to make a motion on 9435 Big Bend Boulevard for us to approve as submitted.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, you're approved.
All right, we'll see you in a couple weeks, talk about the rest of my house.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, we'll circle back now to the Clark Avenue project, 427 Clark. Let's see, Denise, you're our spokesperson for this project.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
And I did get your comments about the side porch. I was thinking for that, keep it kind of open at those angles to mimic the porch that's gonna be taken off the back side of it.
I'm having, Denise, I'm having a little trouble. It sounds like your transmission might be a little garbled or something. So maybe if you could try speaking up and speaking more slowly, maybe that would help it come through.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Basically, the client is having their elderly mother move in with her, so she's having to put an additional room on the first floor of her house to accommodate her. And as far as that side porch, I know you all had questions about that.
Yes.
I was thinking to leave the sides of that open. There's an existing porch on the back of the house now. That's like that, you kind of see it on the right side picture of the existing house. So I was thinking of kind of leaving that, the ends of it open, but yes, it would need a beam at that outer edge.
Yeah, just a second. I'm trying to see the photo.
So the underside of that roof would just be open, so you'd see rafters up above if you look straight up, or?
That, or you could put like a finish on the ceiling up against the rafters like they've got on the front porch. It's like a beadboard.
Mhm.
You could just put a little piece of gutter on it with a bird's beak drip on it or something too, so. Give it a
Yeah.
little finish to match the house behind it, so.
Yeah, I understand matching the style of the existing porch on the back. If you would just put maybe a fascia board or trim board or something on that rafter to make it look a little more substantial. So it's closer to the dimension of the rest of the trim that's on the front elevation. I think that would help a lot. It would just help it look a little more substantial.
Okay, okay.
Okay. And then also, I had a comment, since you do see the side porch pretty well from the neighbor and from the street, about enclosing the underneath side of the porch similar to the existing front porch.
Yes, yes, you can do that. It's like a lattice, but it's not diagonal. It's horizontal.
Okay, okay, so yeah, you're open to go ahead and enclosing that space below the side porch?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, so I think we're going to just go ahead and add a fascia to that side porch rafter, so it is more consistent with the dimensions of the trim on the rest of the house. And there'll be a beadboard ceiling at that area. Is that correct, Denise? Were you okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then we'll be enclosing the porch, new side porch similar to the existing front porch. Those are the items. Does anybody else have any? Okay, so could I have a motion, please?
I wasn't paying enough attention.
I was gonna say, could I just say so moved? I'll make a motion to approve 427 Clark Avenue with the following clarifications. We'll be adding a fascia board to the side porch shed roof to match the dimension of the existing roof structure on the main home. That shed roof will also have a beadboard finish at the underside. There will be a beam that's not shown on the drawings included. There will also be a lattice detail to match the front porch included on the side porch to close the underside of that decking area.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, Denise, you're approved.
Thank you all. Have a good
Thank-
night.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. Make sure I keep these in order now. 415 Alma Avenue.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Joe Davidson, architect.
Hi, Joe.
Hi.
Okay, let's see. Comments from the board.
I think in our work session, a couple of us were talking about those columns on the covered storage area. Looks like they're just 6x6 posts that were left straight, no detail. We're wondering if there's going to be anything trimmed out about those columns, if there'd be a capital and base or.
We'd be
we
open to
could-
that.
Yeah,
The front of the house, the front porch facing the street does not have any treatment. It's sort of the beam meets the column and there's no plinth detail. There is a bracket, which we were mimicking. We could carry that onto the storage area at the very rear of the property if that's really desired. Again, open to it, but we're trying to match what's already been constructed at the front.
makes sense.
So, yeah, I mean, a plinth would be nice, a capital piece of trim and the brackets, if that's totally doable.
Yeah.
Right.
um,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You guys? Sorry, I'm on the fire truck. I'm on duty right now, but yes, we're open to any detail on any of the columns to match, but like Joe said, what we're trying to do is just match the front, and or, the rear doesn't have any of I saw some of the notes, the rear doesn't have shutters. So that was why we left it off the plans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So online, I'm assuming you're the homeowner. All we have is a number up there.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm the homeowner at 415 Alma.
Okay, and what's your name?
My name is Brent Stenslocken.
Okay, Brent, thank you. So, does anybody feel real strongly about the camp and base trim?
I mean, I think that he made a good point to keep it simple and maybe the only thing to your point is maybe make them a little thicker, like
A
8x8s.
Yeah,
Just because they are taller and they won't feel as spindly,
Absolutely.
but then leave them plain.
And they are engaged as well. They're engaged pilasters, so they're not standing out in space. Right.
Yeah.
At the covered porch area. I probably didn't say that very eloquently, but they're engaged pilasters that support the covered porch.
And you
Um,
said,
I was gonna say the columns look a bit thin for their height. So we were talking about maybe just beefing those up a little bit.
Yes, and I think we would be open to that. I guess I wanted to make sure we were talking about the same area
Yeah.
and that in
Yeah.
plan, they're not,
We're talking right here.
The very back.
At the very
Covered-
back,
covered
the covered porch area that's kind of off of the back of the new.
The
addition.
lean-to.
Yeah.
Are you talking about
Yeah.
the very,
The 5 columns that are in a line.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. So we're not talking about at the covered patio area. We're talking about on the back side of the garage.
Right,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah, and I'm fine with making those bigger. My only concern was the larger we go with those, I don't want to take up more of that space because I know we're limited on total width in that space. So I just wanted to make sure that whatever we put in there doesn't, consume more of the space for us, for example, to put a golf cart in that space or whatever we would like to put in there, so that was the reasoning for not making those too large.
Do you think an 8x8 would work? Would you all be
Yeah, it's just a
comfortable with
matter-
that?
I mean, you would just have an inch on that one side.
Yeah, that would just take an inch out of that space on one side.
So, and it's, okay. When we got these comments ahead of time, it did seem like that was maybe in reference to the columns in the covered porch area, which are closer to 10, 11 feet in height. The ones at the rear of the garage, the rear of the property are what, 8 foot, maybe 9 foot, well, actually 8'6" to the underside of the beam. I just wanted to clarify that again, that we're not talking about 12-foot tall column, and we're not talking about in the public realm either, but if this is what the board is looking for, I'm sure that's not a problem.
As an
Yeah.
alternative to beefing up the columns, and I'm not saying you have to have a fancy bracket on it, but even just a straight brace, that whole shed off the back of the garage is very utilitarian.
Very much so,
And
right?
I think the fact that you just added some 45-degree brackets or a 60-degree angle bracket,
That might bring the scale of it down some.
it would. And
Mhm.
it's a rationale for a thinner column too, because effectively there's a structural reason for it. So
Yes, sir, I agree.
I'd be good with that. I don't know where anybody else stands.
I would get on board with that.
I guess I didn't see an issue with the inner columns over the covered patio because they feel more like trim. Because they're not standing out by themselves or,
And that's the ones when we received the comments, that's what I thought we were talking
Yeah.
about. So,
yeah, makes sense.
okay.
And I did have one comment, the little shed roof over the door, that goes up to looks like it goes up to the stair.
Yes, correct. The man door,
Yeah, that
person door.
little shed roof is like right on the corner. I was thinking if you just nudge it over a little bit, give it some relief there, that'd be good.
Let's put that in the notes. That
Yeah.
sounds good. Not a-
And my only comment was that I didn't see the shutters on the front elevation. So I just wanted, on the addition, if those could be added to match the existing windows.
Yeah, viewed in real time, the facades of the garage that have windows wouldn't really be visible from the street or visible at the same time you were seeing the front of the house,
Oh, wait.
but they would be visible as you're seeing the sides of the house. So that's what we were more trying to pick up the
Yeah.
language of the sides of the house more so than the front.
Oh, I got turned around.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, what you say makes perfect sense. I think it looks fine the way it's drawn.
No, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. Oh, I can,
I got-
David's okay.
I got turned around.
Okay, I think we're good. We're good with that.
Okay.
Okay, and I just wanted to verify with both Joe and Brent as far as the solution to the columns on the very back of the garage covered area. Which one were you more comfortable with, beefing them up or going with the angle
I would say
brackets?
a bracket.
The angled bracket is every board members, are we okay with that?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, I think that we are ready for a motion then on 415 Alma Avenue.
Make a motion to approve 415 Alma Avenue with the following clarifications. The rear posts at 5 locations of those posts on the covered storage will have angled brackets. Right.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then the shed roof over the man door leading up to the stair will be moved away from the corner of the building. I think that's it.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Thanks for your
yeah.
time.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we're down to 21 non-title.
Okay, looks like our last item on the agenda is 21 North Iola. I'm not seeing anyone for 21 North Iola. Okay, well, I guess we'll go ahead and table this one and since we don't have a project representative, so
Do you want to table with any commentary to be? passed
well,
forward?
they would have received written comments.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I think
okay.
we're probably good. And then,
Okay.
yeah, we're fine. Let's go ahead and table it and then we'll call it an adjournment for this evening.